It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Good day, folks. Not really sure what happened there. I take it we're live. All right, this isn't a great start. My beer's foaming. Hang on a second. God. Some technical issues here, folks. Ah, bloody hell. First beer of the night there, Astanix. No, not alcohol abuse. Oh, right. You mean I spilled some beer. Yeah, that's true. Go to the box, feel 2 minutes, feel shame. Well, 2 regulation losses in the last 14, folks. That was a masterclass. Like Calgary didn't stand a chance tonight. I didn't think it was close. It was funny listening. Well, they did of course, they do the Calgary Flames broadcast in crew, and the Kelly Rudy. Oh, it's going to be an interesting third period. You think, Kelly? Because they scored one at the end of the first, but I don't know. To me, there was no. There was never any doubt who was winning this one. You coming up, Chester? Come on up. Join the crew. Yes, I'm booted to the couch here tonight, folks. Yeah, Jermaine must have got the card back, eh? Thank you, buddy. Samurai Knight, Fiverr. I appreciate it, my friend. Mark, as always, coming through. Oh, Jermaine with another 5. Yeah, he found, he found his card. Thank goodness. Jermaine's Brian, by the way, but thank you, Brian. Yeah, Cappy, because I'm Cappy. I don't know if you saw my thumbnail that I did up, but there's an extra reason for that. I'll just display it here. Because I'm Cappy. 14th goal tonight for Oliver Kapanen. Ties him again with Beckett Seneca for the rookie goal scoring lead. On pace again for 25. You know, I got thinking, and there's every now and then I do that. I can't recall any Habs centers in my lifetime that scored 25 goals in their rookie season. So I started doing some digging, had a look, and you know what? The record for Habs rookie center was Jacques Lemaire with 22 in 1967-68. So again, can we put to rest this is Cappy a second line center crap? Yeah, apparently he's the first in Montreal since 67-68. So No, but like it's rare. Like to come into the NHL and score 25 goals playing center is not that common. And in fact, it's so uncommon that it's never been done in Montreal Canadiens history. So, uh, can we finally start giving the kid some props? You know what? I thought he had one of his most mediocre games of the year this year, actually, or this game, actually. Um, I did have stats, and they disappeared when the start of that little fiasco I had at the start here. Let me see if I can bring him back up. Not my smoothest intro ever here tonight, folks, but people still sent me some money. Maybe I should do that more often. Ooh, start fumbling everything. Um, yeah, Cappy apparently won 3 faceoffs and lost 15 tonight. I didn't recall him taking more faceoffs than anybody else, but it was not a banner night for Oliver Kapanen in the faceoff circle. 17%. That's Michael Hage territory. I don't know if Mike, called him up and said, "Look, do me a favor and start losing. Have a 17% night like I did, so get me back in the conversation to be the second line center." But Phil Deneau, he made up for it. 13 face-off wins, 2 losses, 87%. Not wild? Funny, eh? Nobody else was over 50%, but Phil, like anybody other regular centers. You know what? What I'm interested in looking at here, and I thought so, 16 minutes for Arbor Jackeye tonight, 16 minutes for Stroobs. And you know what? Well deserved and very observant of Stefan Robida and Marty to recognize early on that these guys were really playing well. I think it was the best game of the year for Arbor. He was good right from the start. He had some good offensive plays. He came up, threw a couple hits, solid defensively, some nice outlet passes. He looks like he's gaining that confidence that we saw a couple of years ago when he first came into the league and stuff. He's looking good. And, when it comes down to Goalie coming back, certainly Arbor, and I mean, Stroobs was solid too. But they're going to be fine on defense, I think. In fact, I'd even consider maybe sitting Carrier the odd game, maybe, and keep those two in the lineup. Like, let him become part of the platoon down the road as well. Because I thought Struble and Jackeye was a really solid pairing, and they have been the last few games, but tonight in particular. And they got rewarded with more than 15 minutes of ice time, which fully deserved. I thought they were the best defense pairing tonight, honestly. Although all of the defense pairings were decent. Matheson, so 22 minutes. Hudson under 24, so good. That means that they get curved, their ice time curved a bit. I don't mind that. I don't think they should be playing 25 plus, especially if they get to the playoffs. And then, hey, Dobson 18-29, again, good. I'm glad. And Carrier under 19. Those are numbers that I'd rather see, honestly, than 4 guys over 22 minutes. And I hope that becomes a regular thing where, you're not protecting Jackeye and Struble, because I don't think, well, they bring a physical presence out there, right? And it'd be nice that they were out taking regular shifts. Slav with another point tonight. He's 23 points in his last 21 games. So a quarter of the season, he's over a point per game. I love it. I love that from Slav. And obviously Alexander Alexandre Texier with goal and 2 assists. Good for him. He had a good game tonight. I guess all the talk of him not being suitable for the first line tonight, certainly, if he has a few more nights like that, he'll at least make an argument for staying there, and that's fine. Good for him. He hasn't been poor since he came to the Canadiens, and it makes you wonder what was going on exactly in St. Louis, where they felt so little of him that they bought him out. But he's not perfect, but he's been playing pretty solid, and that goal there. Look, I don't know, Wolf. Wolf's not a bad goalie, but the small goalie on his knees, you can beat him up top, and that's what he did. Made it look like he was going to pass it, and then just shelved it on the small goalie. There was lots of room. He could have fit a soccer ball between his shoulder and the goal and the crossbar, I think. But nice of him to get 3 points. I didn't mind his game, obviously, tonight. +3 as well. Lane +3. Carrier +3. Suzuki Caulfield +2. But, I mean, that goal by Caulfield, so much for the slump, right? That was, a patented Cole Caulfield goal. Just kaboom, right over. Paul Antoniadis was at the game with Karin Hines tonight, and they were in the seats that me and Tony and Paul sat in when I got invited to a game 3 years ago. So it's right behind the net, but he saw that goal and he said just the shot was just incredible. And I mean, we could see it on TV, but I'm sure, it must have looked incredible sitting 10 feet from the back, right behind the net. So that would have been pretty cool to see. Got Karen out of the press box and got her down to a seat. Paul likes to invite, the odd press person down to see the game front row. And Rick Spaghetti's also gotten invites from Paul to sit in those seats. They're fantastic seats. You can see, can almost spit on Jeff Molson from that seat. He's over just in the next section, which is kind of cool. But get back to the stats here again for a sec. Hits wise, no surprise. Arbor had 6. Bolduc had 4 again tonight. Blais with 4. Phil Deneau, another solid game from him. Nice setup to Lane on that goal. Lane's just obliterating his. He's going to more than double his goal total from last year. He might end up with 15 before it's all said and done. And that doesn't shock me, right? What did he do all off season? Worked on all of his shot, and it's paying dividends for him. But as far as shots go, Matheson with 4, Caulfield 4. Several guys, Cappy, Texier, Beck, Blais with 3 shots. Blais in 10 minutes, 3 shots, 4 hits. He keeps doing things. Like he's staying active. I haven't minded Samuel Blais. It's kind of. I was thinking about it tonight there. When When Texier was out on the penalty kill, got his 3 points. Veleno killing penalties. Blay doing his thing. Just the moves that, and then Deneau, on the PK, winning faceoffs, all that. Kent Hughes picked up Veleno, Blay, Deneau, and Texier for in total, those 4 guys for a second-round draft pick is all he'd given up in assets for 4 players, which to me, the Canadians are probably not at the top of the standings right now without those 4 players chipping in. None of them are superstars, but they've all been needed, especially with the the injuries to Anderson, the injury to Evans, all the injuries to all of the to Newhook, to Doc. If he doesn't pick up those players and get them obviously cheap, because that's 4 players for a second-round draft pick, basically. That's that's shrewd management, good asset management. You can't help but be impressed by that. I have to find the. We'll just get up the standings here. The Canadians are now 1 point out of first place in the East. Not bad, eh? They jump even with Detroit, but they've got a game in hand. So 1 point behind Tampa, 1 point behind Carolina. So they're hanging in there solidly. It's funny, if they're 6 points up on the 9th place team. So it's still not a comfortable margin. Like, they're still not, you can't say they're home and dry as far as making the playoffs go. But at the same time, if they were in the Western Conference, they'd have a 9-point margin from the 9th place team in the West, which is kind of, is this thought that this thought that sorry, I just saw a funny message from Mark. The thought that the West is a lot stronger than the East is being put to rest this year, I do believe. We have a Donnie McCaskill gifted 5 recruits HabsCast memberships. Thanks, Don. Nice to see you. And then Brian Jamais said, "Oh yeah, I'll match you, buddy. I got my credit card back. I'm going to use it." That's 10 more recruits HabsCast memberships. Our membership is growing like crazy. We're up to like 70 members now, which is, I think, is pretty wild. It's like $4.50 a month or something like that, $5 for a membership. Anyway, that's thank you guys. Really appreciate it. But just to get back to this, Carolina, it's friggin' tight, isn't it? It's just crazy. It's crazy how tight. The Islanders, they got back on track. The Islanders, Flyers, Caps are all within a point of each other. Pittsburgh won back. Buffalo, I mean, that one loss, eh? They win like 10 in a row. They lose one, and they're back out of the playoff. But Toronto's gotten back into the mix now. They're 10th. But only 2 points out of 2 points behind Pittsburgh. So Obviously, the game with Florida will be big too. If Florida wins, beats Montreal, they're only 5 back of the Habs. So it's so tight. He just every game's so important, and the fact that the Canadians have gotten points in 12 of their last 14 is really good. They're 9-2-3 in their last 14. That's a 750 win percentage. And that included a 7-game road trip. So can't say I expected that from them. They keep surprising us in a pleasant way. You know, they were clearly had superior skill to Calgary. Like it's been so many years, like it's been decades since the Canadians had this much. That the Canadians were I think top 3 skill wise in the NHL. They're just, and then you see it on the power play too. You know, the way they can move that puck around, and the puck skill, the vision, the offensive skill is something we have not seen in this team since the 80s. And even then, they were never a top 2 skilled team. And this club, I think over the next 5 years anyways, is going to be top 3 in talent all 5 years. So it's got to be so exciting to go to the Bell Center. Paul keeps trying to get me to go down. I'm going to go down at some point this winter to a game. I might maybe try to make a point of seeing a couple of players that I haven't seen yet. You know, a night that certain teams come into town, and make a point to get down to a game. Maybe you can even get a get together in Montreal if there's some people that in our Habs community that might be able to meet up with us for a pint or two. It'd be kind of cool. Maybe we can arrange something coming up here. Samurai, Sammy likes to get his early, gets the early ones in there. 8:20. Hell of a first period for the Habs. Too bad they couldn't score. Stupid penalty by Struble. Yeah. Hot damn, it's a good time to be a Habs fan. Hot damn. Does anything make you jump out of your seat more than a Lane Hudson goal? Absolutely. Fowler looked pissed at Dobson on that goal. Gotta think he was screened. Yeah, I gave him the look. A 21-year-old. I love it. He's got some swag, that young man. You know? He doesn't like letting in goals. I like goalies that don't like letting in goals. Just as long as he's not making a big habit of doing that with his teammates, it's all good. He gave him a glance, yeah. Mark, I get the impression Fowler will make the defense better over time, teaching them where to be on the ice to play well with him. He will demand that. Could be. I don't mind that part of him. You know, Patty Waugh had that kind of attitude too. If he sees a puck, good chance of just getting stopped. Yeah, well, let in 2 tonight. One of them called back on an offside. I don't hate the offside challenges much when it's the Canadians, but I still do. It doesn't matter. I still think it should be eliminated. Who's this guy, Texier? Yeah, I know. You or I played with Cole and Sue. We get some points too. Mm-hmm. I think he got a point. He got a point off the line too, did he not? He was out there. He was out there for a goal. I do believe when Susie and Caulfield weren't out there. Out of town scoreboard. Dallas bounced back after a 5 or 6 game losing skid. They beat Washington 4-1. Utah is up 2-1 on Ottawa. Blackhawks St. Louis 1-1. San Jose LA just getting started. So the only early game tonight, the only early games were the Washington game and the Habs game. But 2 more points for Caulfield. That's nice to see him rolling like that. Yeah, Hudson, Deneau, Texier. That wasn't. He got that point without Susie and Caulfield. I love how Montreal carried the play but kept getting penalties. Yeah, well, Garrett Rank. They flew him in, Alberta boy. I guess he's got to officiate every game that has an Alberta team in it. Garrett Rank was a referee in that debacle in Edmonton, and yeah, he hasn't been overly kind to the Habs so far this year. Not my favorite ref. I still hate video reviews. There you go. Yeah. Dollar's good. Now imagine the kid is only going to grow and get better. Yeah. Dominant performance by the Habs. I got to agree with that. Another win for the future number one. We have 660 who have viewed so far. Only 89 on YouTube. Come and join us over here. It helps my numbers, guys. If you're watching on X, that doesn't do me any good. Hop onto the YouTube and you can join the live chat. So win-win. Helps me. I get monetized for it. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. Jacks up the algorithm so people can, next up or recommended viewing on YouTube for people. So every little bit that you can chip in here, if you like these post-game shows, help me out. Help me out by joining us on YouTube, hitting the like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that too. What the heck? I appreciate all of it. Thank you. Hopefully it carries over to tomorrow. Yeah. Grant's new post for the show. I bet he's Cappy this evening. Oh, yeah. That's quite a race him and Seneca are having, eh? Just Seneca keeps getting one. Cappy, oh, I'll get one. Do. On pace for 25 goals. It's a rookie center. It's very notable. You don't see many that do it. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is, because you don't typically play a top 2 center role as a rookie in the NHL. It's just because there's so much defensive responsibility, and Cappy's doing it, and he's scoring goals. So yeah, Calgary was horrible. Well, they weren't great. Did Deneau end up with perfect? Yeah, close to it. Great job by the good guys. 13 face-off wins, 2 losses. Something like that. Now my interest is piqued. I want to see what his face-off percentage is with the Habs. It's got to be around 70 friggin' percent, I would think. Let me just see here. Was he 13-2 tonight? Is that what I said? Just a second here. (13-2). Okay. Get out my trusty calculator here. So it's 170 and lost 41. So 70 divided by 111. 63% so far with the Habs. 63%, folks. That's not too shabby, is it? I thought it was higher than that. I thought it might be 70, but still, that's right at the top of the league. So good for him. Thought Veleno had a good night, especially early. Skated well, physical. That 2-on-1 was probably least effective play. No, Veleno was fine. I mean, like I say, Veleno, Belay, Texier, and Deneau, the Habs aren't a point out of the lead in the Eastern Conference without the help of those guys. And it cost them in total a second-round pick. So Kent Hughes, you can't argue with the management job he's done. It's been outstanding. Thank you, Germain, Brian, for the donation. Who wouldn't be happy with that win? Exactly. What? No memberships? Oh, I see. Got him going, eh? Sorry, no, gotta do dough tonight. And then he turned around and did it anyway. Hit those likes, please, guys and gals. Habs kicked the cap out of the Flames. Oh, might have to use that for one of my future ones. Thank you very much for the inspiration. 87%, eh? Isn't that something? To know 87%. You trying to get Jermaine in trouble with his wife again? Yeah, still don't donate. We won't tell your wife. We usually play hide the credit card. Oh. I like the Deneau line, but I think it really has to do with him specifically, who wins faceoffs, controls the play. Wow. Feel he'd do better with someone else than Galley, who kills the plays. Well, that third line's going to be pretty good in a few weeks, I think. Just wait. Till a couple of injured guys get back. That snipe goal by Cole was unreal. Absolutely. Love these chats. Hopefully we can help the most unique Habs podcast on YouTube. Yeah, definitely. Fowler, hey, it's because of your generosity and others that I'm able to do this as often as I can. Talk the wife into letting me do this as much as I do. I call her the wife, and she's not really the wife, but may as well be. Somebody was asking the other day. Common law, I guess. Fowler now 237, 912. How can you set him down? As long as he keeps playing like this, I'd keep him up. Yeah. Well, that's not Monty's numbers, is it? How many beers will Grant drink tonight? Depends how much money I get. I always look forward to these chats when I can be a part. Yep. Two minimum. Your money's on two minimum, eh? Well, yeah, I think you're right. 3, 1 per Texier point. Well, I'd have to go get another one later. We'll see. We'll see how long this goes. The young lad should be coming home soon. Chester, Chester, come on over. Come here. Come on. That's a boy. Come here. Come on. Come on. There, Chester. Say hello to Chester. I think he's happy that I'm doing it on the couch. Doesn't like being apart from me for the 2 hours, 2.5 hours sometimes we spend, eh, buddy? Yeah. So he's happy when I do it on the couch. You folks are terrific. These chats are always great. Wolf left the barn door open on the first goal. That he did. Yeah, the fourth line was good. I thought Beck had a really solid game again. Hit that crossbar. He's got a rocket wrist shot, doesn't he? I love his wrister. And Donnie, ooh, I always like the yellow. Yellow. Thank you, Don, for the for your most kind generosity. And I don't know if you're heading back soon, but if we can hook up when you're on your travels through, buddy, let me know and we'll see if we can't get together for a steak or whatever. Steak and a pint. Hooray for France. Yeah. I have a feeling Texier is going to play about 25 minutes a game for France. I hope he has a good tournament. Be kind of cool. That's Francois, that's a good point. Easy match, allowed the third pairing and fourth line to play more. But you know what? I don't think it was just that with the fourth line too. I think they were generally good tonight. So genuinely good. So they got the ice time not because it was an easy game, because I mean, hey, it was only a 2-goal difference most of the game. So and going into the third, 2 goals. So no, I think the main reason why Arbor and Struves played so much is because they were really solid tonight and have been pretty solid since they were put together, really, for the most part. Feels like Garalka takes a penalty every third period when you don't want one. He has that rap. He has that rep. Is the Rat playing tomorrow? Probably. Calgary wasn't at its best, but our boys played really well. What stood out to me was the continuous second effort all night. Yeah, that's a good point. That high sticking penalty he had was weak. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to rag on Galley too much. Danault's experience will really count when they get in the playoffs. True. I don't see anyone saying we overpaid for Danault anymore. Yeah. Bruce Boudreau hates the 3 goalie system. And where's Bruce Boudreau now? Third pairing was great. They were intimidating to go up against. Yeah, did you see the Did you see the practice again the other day? The two of them practicing their sparring. Not the first time that Strubes and Jack-Eye, they practice their sparring, and it's a great idea. I'd like to see some. I'd like to see Slav getting some tips from Arbor on that. It'd be kind of nice, actually. Yeah, I know. He's home. It's okay. We got ourselves a visitor. And Don with the gifted the 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Don. Deneau had the most ice time among forwards. Well, deservedly so. If the second round pick turns into Hudson type, it will be overpay. How many second round picks turn into Hudson? So if a 2% chance of something happens, yeah, come on now. How many Lane Hudsons are there picked in the second round over history, over the last 50 years? 50 years, 20 to 30 picks. So 1,000, so what, 2, 3 in 1,000? So 0.03% chance of that? Come on now. You take that, you go with those odds. We didn't get a big game from Fowler. Yeah. Okay. Texier's first 3-point game ever. Oh, I would think so. Donnie, go Habs, go. Insane in the mem lane. Arbor played a very good physical game, and we sure needed him to do so. Bonjour, bonjour, 1313. Thanks for joining the crowd. Hope you become a regular. Fowler has a 9-12 save. Yeah. Really smart play by Deneau, hitting his stick on the ice to make Texier aware of his presence. He already knew he'd passed to Hudson. Yeah. You know what's something else I noticed tonight? 2 times. Suzuki did it, and then later on, I think it was Slav that did it. But the puck was kind of jammed up along the boards. Somebody they had their skate up against it, and Susie took his blade of a stick and he turned it on its side and he pushed it back. Did you notice that? And he pushed it back through the guys between the boards and the skate blade back to his defenseman, like just using the tip of the blade of a stick to do it. It was brilliant. And I can't say I've seen it too often. And Slav ended up doing the same thing later on. It was really cool anyway. And that's, you want to unfreeze the puck. It's a brilliant way of doing it. And Suzuki did it, and it was really cool. Tuning in for Newfoundland again. Enjoyed the viewer interaction part of this, something different from other shows. Geez, it's what, 12:30, 12:40 now in Newfoundland? Yeah, it is. It is different. I only talked about 20 minutes tonight. Nobody on. Slav Squatch again, yeah. That's how Bolduc needs to play. Well, he threw 4 hits. He was physical, up and down direct. There weren't too many passengers tonight, were there? I wonder if the Habs have caught the Canes for most posts yet. Seems like they hit 5 a game. Yeah, that's true. They got a few more tonight. Caulfield puts that puck where Mama keeps a cookie jar. Arbor solid on at both ends. Okay. Um, okay, okay, Brian. I was wondering. Um, Baker Mayfield wasn't playing in the game tonight. I was wondering. Caulfield, yes, that short side shot was terrific. I guess your apologies accepted begrudgingly. The puck was bouncing for Coke. He still roofed it. Well, things go better with Coke, right? No passengers tonight, exactly. I believe I said that. Wonder if Slav missed his shot or wanted to pass when he missed an open net. Oh yeah, I know, eh? He had a clear out there. Hudson is a legitimate Norris contender. Yeah? What's he now? Is he second in scoring? Pretty crazy. Even Kent said he knew Lane was going to be good, but he had no idea. Well, Frank, who did? Lane needs a shot. Well, okay. What's that? His 8th goal now? Scored a pretty nice one the other night to win it over OT. What's who's leading? I wouldn't be surprised if Hudson's top 20 in defenseman goal scored now. It's got to be in that conversation, right? I'm going to check the stats here. Can't believe Logan Stanley has 7 goals. So Lane is tied for 12th in goal scoring among defensemen. He's doing it all, folks. And as far as points go, he's third in points behind Makar and Werenski, 43 points. So third in points, 12th in goals, tied for 13th in plus minus. Hey, all arounder, right? He's already an all-around defenseman. He's doing it all, so I'm not going to complain about his shot. Community is growing. Awesome stuff. Yes, it is. Germain can never be outdone. Seems that way. Uh-oh. Boy's coming. Gotta hide the card. Oh, shoot. Apparently, Doc was seen with a medical boot today. Yeah, I read that. He's still got the walking boot on or something. I don't know. That's one guy. He does seem a little fragile, I have to say. Oh, Art Vandelay, and I'm an architect. Yeah. Little Seinfeld reference there. Gallagher did a nice job screening Wolf on the Hudson goal. Yes, he did. Gally still does lots of little things. Yep. Tampa is on fire. I know. Beating Colorado, too, the other night. All of a sudden, Colorado's starting to lose a few, right? Do you like how the Habs protected the lead tonight? Yes, I do. How? Do I know a good place to get hardwood floors? Can't think of too many. Oh, wait a sec. I just thought of one. Logsend.com, folks. See that fella right there? He tied the game against the Russians in 1972. He led the NHL in goal scoring, 72-73 playoffs. Was the best player that playoff series. Won 10 cups. Captain 4 straight years. He was only captain 4 years, and he won cup every year. Only 2 men have ever done that, I believe. Yeah, Yvan Cournoyer. Look at the legs on him still, eh? Like built like a you-know-what. A brick you-know-what. Even at about 70 or whatever he was there. But he visited the plant, Logs End, Quillon, Quebec, near Shawville, where I'm from. These guys reclaim logs from the Ottawa River, make them into hardwood flooring, and, well, not just hardwood flooring, but pine as well. And it's beautiful stuff. But visit their website, do me a favor, and get a quote from them if you have any inclinations in getting some flooring done. Tell them Grant sent you, and they'll look after you. Logsend.com. Mark, thanks for reminding me, buddy. I'd already did it once today, so I didn't have to, but why not? They've been good to me. They're my only sponsors, main sponsors, so got to treat them right, eh? Okay, what's this all about? Dean Carrier. Hello, Dean. That's a kind of a, I can't recall too many posts from you, but you're sending me $13.99, so you're my new best friend. Thank you. Well, no, you still take second place as your main, but thanks. Thank you very much, Dean. Feel free to start leaving us your thoughts, my friend. Okay. Doc's still walking around. Yeah. Okay. I got to get, sorry, got behind here. We have needed difference makers forever. We have them now. We can come back with skill when behind. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll get rid of Viva there. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. I know probably we'll have to get through Florida and Tampa. I hope Tampa somehow doesn't make the playoffs, but that'll be tough. I get it, but I still wouldn't want to play. I still wouldn't want to play against them. Do I scout Blainville when they've got players to scout? Yeah, and the last 2 years they have. So I might get out to a Blainville game this year. There's not a lot of high end guys in the queue, but they got the small defenseman there who's pretty skilled. But perhaps a game coming up down the stretch, I'll get out to scout a game with Rick. I went to see Carbonneau versus um, Denway last year. Rick came out, Snake. We're not getting a very big. We only have 77 on the YouTube here. It's kind of disappointing. There've been a lot more on X. Folks, if you're watching on X, do me a favor, come over, HabsCast YouTube, join us. We may be small, but we're mighty. Hey, Grantster, great game. How about that top shelf from Texier? Yeah, it was. Wolf thought that he was passing it, and boom, down he went. Little goalie over his shoulder. Thank you very much. Habs defensemen are now number 3 in the league for points. I think they've been top 3 most of the year, have they not? Or, at times for sure. 109 points. Well, considering that, this is the first time since the LaPointe, Savard, Robinson days that they had 3 former 60-point defensemen in the lineup. So I'm not shocked by that. The getting kicked out of face-off thing, yeah, I know. I noticed Cappy doesn't get kicked out too often. A lot of times it's the guy he's up against gets the boot. Although tonight I wish he maybe would have got kicked out a couple times with his face-off percentage. My only wish is that Demi didn't get at least a point in this game. I think you probably mean to say that he did get a point. Montreal winning is the most important thing, but I'd also like to see Demi win the Calder. Yep. Somehow Quinn Hughes is higher in Norris right now, despite Lane being better in every category. Reputation. Sometimes it takes a couple years. It's just the way of the world. Love the post-game show, Grant. How do you think the goalie situation will work here? Oh, I don't think it's much longer. Kent said as much, that it's not long term. I think Dobie's probably going to get sent down. Hit the like button, everybody. Yes, please. What about Jack Eye? Hey, Google's Paisan. Goggles Paisan, sorry. Freddie Flintstone. Heck of a race car driver in his day. Yeah, I already talked about that at the start. Goggles. He was, I think it was his best game of the year. He wants that 6th spot when Goalie gets in. Great to watch the Habs win, but awesome to see them do it live. Oh yeah, Nick, you're at the game, buddy? Well, thanks for taking the time to come on and let us know. Paul was at the game too, and he was right behind the net for that awesome top shelf short sider from Cole. Bolduc having trouble doing anything recently. I didn't mind the game from Bolduc tonight. He was physical. Was a physical presence. No, he's not going to the minors, I don't think, Bontu. 2 big division matches coming up versus Florida and Detroit. Time to make a statement. Absolutely. $10 from Donnie. Thank you, my friend. Cappy is our 2C. Thoughts and win. Yes, he is. I'm glad there aren't too many people saying, I still think he's a 3rd C. I kind of got a little tired of that this afternoon. The young lad keep depriving us of our podcast. Jaka is so big and heavy. I feel he goes through the opponents with each of his body checks. Yeah, he made some big ones tonight. Third line played a lot as well. I thought they were fine tonight. Capable of beating anyone in the league, even the Habs. Yeah. When the injuries come back, you know what? Like, you know, they don't have to make a lot of additions because they're at the top of the Eastern Conference. And if you look at it like, okay, in a sense, they're trading for Goalie, Doc, Newhook, and Line A, right? There's your trade deadline acquisitions for nothing. You want to look at it that way. So really, like, do they, do they really have to make many moves? Probably not. Not unless the right thing comes along. And I like that them being in that position where they're not desperate. You know, they're not going to overpay for some ridiculous deadline moves that we've seen in the past. Teams paying multiple first round picks for mediocre rentals. I'm an optimist, hopefully a realist optimist. There you go. Steak and pints at Chops. Email you. Never been there, but chop chop. We'll see you there, Donnie. Dino will soon have more points than Montreal than he had with LA. That's a good point. I was thinking that today too, Francois. He's hey, he's feeling comfortable, right? I'm not gonna ever. You can't make a trade like the fella saying, "Well, what if it turns out to be Hudson?" Like, come on, you know. That's about less than a 1% chance of that. Maybe a 0.5% chance. You got to go with that with those odds. Maybe 0.05%. Yeah. Yeah, not even a 0.5%. Like we're talking 0.05% chance. Given all the games we have to play before the Olympics, the three goalie system is not so bad. Yeah, it's not a huge rush for it, but why the Olympics? Probably. I mean, you don't want Dobie sitting all the time. Jacket can learn to swing his hips through like smaller players. Wow, he'll be hard to play against. Yeah, maybe you should get Twister and work on it. Swing his hips. We'll need Arbor and Cooley in the playoffs, possibly Florian if he does well. Yeah, maybe Reinbacher too. Did I see Olivier destroy? I don't know if he destroyed him. He kind of elbowed him on the way back up, and like he didn't knock him out with a punch, you know. But he won the fight for sure. Olivier's Olivier and Delorier are the two toughest guys in the league. It's been that way for a couple of years now, so that doesn't surprise me. Why would this still be foaming? Anyway, cheers, folks. You you gift me with donations and cash. I gotta have at least two and stay on for a while, right? Apparently, Germain got back his freaking credit card again because gifted another 5 HabsCast recruits memberships. This is getting crazy. And Dean Carrier, $13.99. Thank you, Dean. Are you going to say anything, or are you just oh, okay, love the cast. Missed to see the big slap shot from the point. Yeah, eh? Thank you, Dean. Any relation to Larry Carrier? Yeah. Otto Stenberg with his first NHL goal. Yeah. Well, again, that's one of the reasons why Bolduc was expendable, right? Otto Stenberg. They've got a pile of good young players. So they do. Who needs Kadri when we've got Cappy? I know, eh? I don't know if you caught that. Me and AJ Jakubek going back and forth about Kadri. Oh, the Canadians need to pick him up. No, they don't. Would it cost them all sorts of money? And David Brown. Hey, Dave. Second line was great. With them playing so well, we can afford time for Doc and Gooley. I agree. Jermaine, you really want me to answer one of your questions? You're getting to be a pain in the butt. You know that? Grant, do you think the Habs need to make a trade before the merge deadline? Let me have a sip of thinking about that. This beer brought to you by Molson Canadian. Jeff, if you're watching, I want you to sponsor me. Oh, tastes good. Okay, well, I guess I was just talking about that, right? I don't think they do. I think their trade is Gooley. You know, they're going to pick up Gooley, Laine, Newhook, Doc, Evans, and Anderson for nothing. It's funny that, Francois, that you were mentioning Darren Radish, because I looked at him today. Like, what a story, right? In the minors, really, till he was 26. And a great example, and he's going to become the poster boy for this now, where you be patient with defensemen because there's no specific timeline of when they're ready. You know, what a great story. He played with back in the day with Strowman, McDavid, and DeBrincat, and those great Erie teams. Had an 80-point OHL season, but speed of the NHL game, size, it took him several years to adapt, and he has. And now, at 29, he is a point per game defenseman in the NHL, and someone who even Liam McGuire thought might have been a worthy addition to the Canada's Olympic team. Fort George, Insane Lane. Thank you, George, for the tenor. Man, we're getting this is crazy. How much cash we've had contributed here tonight. It's probably, well, 15. Yeah, we're over $100 just in donations alone. That's go Habs, go! Keep winning, boys. Thank you very much, everyone. let's support HabsCast even if you hit the like button. Yeah, that would be a great start. What did Perek say? With Doc possibly injury prone, would an insurance trade be worthwhile? Well, Doc can't come back. They still got Line A and Newhook, Evans, and Anderson coming back. I don't know. Maybe they have to make a trade. It was brought up by them, the broadcasters tonight, and I kind of tend to agree. Like, do you mess with the chemistry? 4 guys that have been out most of the year are coming back. Do you need more bodies? Then you got to get rid of a bunch. So does that upset the chemistry? I don't know. Like, and there's Reinbacher on the, I've seen people say, well, they could use a big defenseman. Well, they've got one on the farm. If they need it, bring up Reinbacher. So I don't know. I think they might stand pat, and I'd be okay with that this year, unless the right deal comes along. But I like the depth of the team, the youth of the team. It all points towards not needing to make a desperate move. Kent Hughes doesn't need to spend a bunch of assets to get a second line center or it'd be nice to add a big physical guy to the bottom 6, but you add another, and if they get relatively healthy, they've got about 18 forwards. Then what do you do? Should come to Laval to watch some Rocket. Yeah, geez. I got to go to Chops. I got to go to Laval. I got to go to Blainville. Got to go to Montreal. Somebody, can they contribute me? Can someone get me a private jet? I guess that's asking a little much, on live chat. Let people know if you go to a game. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Join us for the party here. Yeah. Well, I don't think people on, unless I do this, people can't really see the, and even if you do that, I don't know, can people see the comments? Not really. I don't know if I'll get up to see any Rockets this year. Maybe. Sea Dogs this Sunday. Joseph, I like D. Baldwin going again this Sunday. Oh, yeah? Alexei Joseph. Yeah, he's a good prospect, eh? I'll have a look at Baldwin. Thanks, Don. Did I crack beer number 2? Well, I certainly did. Foamed all over the place, too. Ben Kindle and Linus Karlsson. Yeah, I wouldn't say Karlsson's a center necessarily. I have to say, though, Karlsson kind of came out of nowhere, quiet. The quietest 10 goals by a rookie in a long time. It's like they're showing him, and Linus Karlsson really has 10 goals? Wow. So good for him. And again, Dean, thanks for $13.99. That's very generous of you for a newcomer. Good way to catch my attention, by the way, sending me $14 before you even post something. Not like these guys that post 47 that never contribute anything but post 47 times that they think that Oliver Kapanen's a third line center. Well, the young lad's home now. I think I could take these off. Actually, no. There he is. Being quiet, though. Apparently, Doc is wearing an orthopedic boot. Yes. Yeah, that was mentioned, Marlon. If you go back in the chat, you'll notice that a few people brought that up. I guess, like, geez. They were talking about him playing maybe on the road trip, and now he's walking around with a walking boot. I don't know. And it was only supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks. It's going on 8, and he's still wearing a boot. What's that all about? Eh? Let's support Grant, eh? All folks are doing a good job of that. I hope Line isn't watching this podcast. He'd feel lonely and unwanted. Patty. I like Patty. I hope the best for him. You know what? Believe it or not, what could happen here is he's the first forward back from this group that's playing, and he gets in the lineup. That second power play could really use him. There's a spot for him right now in the lineup, really. And he cranks a few friggin' goals. Second power play, boom, boom, boom. Stranger things have happened. And then all of a sudden, oh, Patty's back. You don't count him out yet. With this walking boot thing with Doc now, Greg, imagine, eh? Came back, threw him on the first line, started producing. He's capable of it. That's just the thing. Former number 2 overall pick, averaged 35 freaking goals a year for his career. Nobody's come close to that on the Canadians. Another day, another good game by Kapanen. Love this pass during the PK to create a breakaway instead of dumping it. Yeah, that's true. He did make a couple of good plays. I thought overall his game today wasn't great, but I have high expectations for him. But he does, yeah. His passing is underrated. He's not a dangler per se. I don't agree with the people that's the narrative, the latest. It was soft, in the preseason. Oh, he's soft. Well, no, he's not. Oh, he's not a playmaker. Well, pucks die on his stick. No, they don't. They get knocked off his stick on occasion, but he makes smart plays when he's got time and space. Pucks don't die on his stick. He's not at all like Veleno. He thinks the game well. He has good vision. It's wrong to say that pucks die on his stick. What happens is that he gets checked in the offensive zone because he's not a great dangler, puck handler, and he's still learning the NHL game, like the time and space. As I said earlier on an earlier show, Slav is just figuring that out after 4 years. So to expect Kapanen 60 games into his NHL career to, be a stick-handling wizard in the offensive zone is just asking a bit too much. Even Demidov, who has some of the softest pair of mitts of any prospect I've seen in the last 20 years, at times struggles to he loses the puck often enough at the NHL level because it's just there's no time and space, really. We want to go on for a while. We've only been an hour 20 into this. Let's play some poker. I raised $5. Who's calling? I'm up for that. Germain. High stakes poker. Well, George came up with 10. There was a little lull there. Actually, not long. 5 from Mike. Oh, that's a good start, boys. Thanks again, eh? Oh, yes. Thanks, Peter, for mentioning this. Glenn Hall passed away. Yeah. For my first book that I wrote, notable hockey players from the Ottawa Valley, Ted Lindsay was born in the town I grew up in, Renfrew, Ontario. His dad played for the Renfrew Millionaires. If you never heard of them, Google it, and it's quite an interesting story. Millionaires, O'Brien's from Renfrew started the NHA, basically, which morphed into the NHL. And one of the teams was the Renfrew Millionaires. They had Cyclone Taylor, Newsy Lalonde at one point, and the goalie was Bert Lindsay, who was Ted's dad. And he married a Renfrew girl, a Villeneuve. I was friends with the Villeneuves later generations. And anyways, it was during the Depression, and they had to move up, like a lot of people did, to the mines to get jobs in the mines. So Ted lived in Renfrew till he was 4, and then they moved up. They moved up to mine country, and he. But we still claim him as our own because hey, he was born in Renfrew, lived there till he was 4, came back to visit relatives all the time and stuff. And anyways, I had the pleasure. I got a hold of Ted before he passed away and interviewed him for the book. And he told me a story about when he was trying to get the Players Association going. Glenn Hall was one of the he was a teammate of his in Detroit, and he was one of the guys that was helping him out with it. And as you know, the owners didn't like that very much. And Detroit, that had a powerhouse at the time, they got it broken up basically because they traded Glenn Hall, they traded Ted Lindsay to Chicago as punishment for them trying to get a players union together. And mind you, they had already traded for Terry Sawchuk, so it wasn't like they had a poor goalie. But what Ted told me was that he thought, because what they did was they traded Glenn first, and another player, and I can't think of who it was, but Ted said that killed their, like, he thought they would have won like 5 cups that decade if they hadn't traded away Glenn Hall. So that's how revered Ted Lindsay, how much he revered Glenn Hall when they had Terry Sawchuk, who I told this story to Liam, and he's, gee, I don't know if I agree with him on that. I mean, Terry Sawchuk held the all-time shutout record I remember I used to look at his hockey card when I was a kid, and Terry Sawchuk, 103 shutouts. Like, I didn't think that would ever get broken, and Marty Brodeur eventually broke it. But um, Glenn Hall was a hell of a goalie. He played 500, more than 500 straight games, started 500 in a row, which is just absolutely incredible. Oh, I think the poker game may have been won. I can't see Donnie. Donnie just $20. I don't know if there'll be too many people seeing that. Thanks, Don. Uh, make me feel like I'm going to have to buy the steak dinner now. Rest in peace in goalie heaven, Glenn Hall. Yeah, well, Glenn Hall was a hell of a goalie. St. Louis, when they first came into the league, Jacques Plante and Glenn Hall, Scotty Bowl. Well, get me Jacques Plante and Glenn Hall. Imagine, eh? And they were still like, they're in their like 40s and they were still awesome. Yeah, he was a heck of a goalie. Oh, Dean, love your choice in beer. Been drinking Canadian since the 90s. Right on. Yeah. Are you in Ontario, Dean? I find the Ontario Canadian is way better in Quebec. I don't know why. The water, I guess, but uh, there's no comparison. Um, since the 90s, for me, it goes back to about 80, 81. I started drinking Canadian. There were probably so many in the closet HabsCast watchers. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Did I like Kadri's dive? I always like Kadri's drive. And again, that's, I don't want him. Other teams can have him. Thank you. Someone else can trade I think they want a first round pick and a draft pick, first round choice and a draft pick for him or something like that. Oh, yeah. Thank you for, you see, that's another thing. Like, I get reminded of things that I've forgotten to talk about by you fine um, folks in the live chat. Thanks, Michael. You keep coming up with these topics that I've been remiss to touch on. Excuse me 1 second. All right, clear the old passageway. Um, you know what? Mooney kind of surprised me. Mind you, his coach, uh, Motzko, Minnesota, he was the coach of the junior teams. So just like Sam O'Reilly with Dale Hunter, you got a guy that you're used to, right? You have faith in. But it's funny, like I watched games earlier this year and I thought Mooney was poor defensively. I really did. And he got overwhelmed in his own zone, I thought. Mind you, I hadn't watched him in a while. And I'm assuming that his defensive game must have improved because Motzko used him as like his main penalty killer. I'll have to get the stats and I'll do a video of his tournament coming up this when I get a little free time here. But like 5-on-3 even, and in their own zone, taking the face off, the only forward on the ice. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I guess maybe what I saw, he must have improved since the start of the year defensively, because I wouldn't think, based on the games that I watched, and it was only a couple, but my impression of him was, geez, he not very good away from the puck in his own zone, but his own coach in college, when the chips were down and they needed, guy 5-on-3 on the PK on this team, he played regularly. So that impressed me. He had some nice assists. I didn't see a lot of the US games. I only caught a couple of them, so I can't say for sure, but what I am going to do is look at his shifts here coming up, and I'll be sure to put up a video or two on my Patreon page and YouTube. So hey, if his defensive game's coming, he's a nice looking prospect. The Canadians got a really nice prospect in the 4th round. So the poker players are all nobody's got a great poker hand now, eh? That one kind of quieted them. Thanks, Donnie. We will get him at a disc point come contact time to boot. We'll get him a disc point come contract time to boot. How many Canadians have you had tonight, Chris? Remember, he's not exactly old either. Okay. To boot. Because he's got a boot on. Who are you talking about here? Oh, Line A. Okay. Everyone's so gung-ho to dismiss Line, but let me tell you, he's the best pure goal scorer we have. Yeah, and he seems to love Montreal. I'm not counting him out. I have the way things are going here, he's gonna get in the lineup, I think. And I mean, he's a fairly intelligent Finn. He knows, hey, geez, I got to get my act together here. It's contract time. He'll be motivated, that's for sure. And I mean, this young team, geez, right? There's something happening here. There's magic pixie dust in the air. He wants to be a part of it, I'm sure. And frick, I still can picture like Line A getting set up by Demidov and Cole, or Cole. Well, Cole and Lane and Susie, and I don't know. I just I'm not counting him out yet. I know he's been kind of an afterthought, but this walking boot Doc thing, I wouldn't be surprised. Line A, when he's healthy, there'll be a spot for him. He'll come in. I mean, it's not impossible to sit Valeno for a game or back, or whoever. So Laine will get in, and if he scores, especially on the power play, what's the score now? Utah and Ottawa. 3-1 Utah. 9 minutes left in the game. Kraus, Marino, Daniel Boot. Congratulations to Daniel. He's going to be a beast. The big bootster with his first boo in the NHL. 6'4", big kid. He'll he's going to be good. Hey, Utah, don't sleep on Utah either. They're an up and coming team. They're going to be really they're going to be hard to beat in a couple of years, I think. Are points easier to get in the Western Conference? I think so overall at this point. There's more weak sisters. The East doesn't have any bad teams this year. Victories against top teams count more, though, so I take the standings with a grain of salt. Yeah. Harold Ballard was a nasty owner. Where did that come from? Did the Millionaires play outdoors? No, they didn't. Renfrew Arena was built at that point. I used to play in it, actually. Started my minor hockey career at the Renfrew Arena. Don takes the pot. Yeah, I think so. Don, you're like, you were supposed to have people build up to that. No, that's fine. That's more than fine. Thank you. Teams that face diversity also have edge into the playoff. Yeah, well, Montreal definitely edged into the playoff. Good story, Grant. I'm old enough to remember that trade. What trade's that, Peter? Because Sawchuk wasn't traded for Glenn Hall, if that's what you're getting at. It was, I believe, Sawchuk had been picked up by Boston, and then they turned around and traded Glenn Hall to Chicago, and then they traded Ted Lindsay to Chicago, and it was kind of the end of the dynasty, really. Goggles Paisan. What's with the $13.99? Hey man, I just keep picturing Fred Flintstone with his goggles on and his stone race car. Oh, you even have the picture of him here. I have many favorite Flintstone, but yeah, Goggles Paisan, right up there, man. Thank you. So you matched Dean. So if you're playing poker against Dean, you two are kind of. Thank you. Oh, this is good. Thanks, Donnie. I'm tapped out. Yeah, no more from you tonight, Jermaine. That's it. Hi, folks, coming late. Enjoy the effort. No passengers tonight. Yes. Yeah, are you going to play poker tonight, Simo? Dean, Northern Saskatchewan. Okay, so it's not bedtime for you yet then. 2 hours away. It's only 10:07, Northern Saskatchewan. So you're not in the prairie per se. You're up in the conifers, living in the pine forest. I'm excited to see Anaheim versus Montreal in March. That might be a good one to go to. I got to look at the sched. It'd be really cool if we could get a few people together. I don't know how many of you on here are in Montreal or can get to Montreal, but at some point we should try to. You know what? I haven't seen Sidney Crosby. I got to go. Is Pittsburgh playing again this year? I'd like to go see Sid. I'm going to turn into a pumpkin soon. Yeah. My first beer was a Molson Gold. Oh, yeah? Trying to think of my first beer. I think it was a 50, a 50. And it was at a farmer's, some old farmer, and he had some beer up on the windowsill in the sun. You want a beer? I wasn't turning it down. I was freaking, I don't know, 12 or something. Yeah, I got to try this out. Warm 50 was my introduction to beer. It's surprising that I even became a beer drinker after that, but Habs community, and you're a big part of it, Don. Thank you. Utah up, yes, they are. Donnie wearing the 45. Okay. Can't remember last night. Can't remember that night. Yeah. I think the first time I got drunk was on Brador. We were kids and didn't have a lot of cash, and 6-pack of Brador. I think you only needed 3 to get a good buzz on. Baby duck wine and Brador beer. $5, under $5. You're laughing. We have too many forwards if they all come back at the same time. True. Oh, this is getting hard on the legs, boys and girls. Oh. 108 watching, not many likes. Slap the likes, folks. Yeah, we got 111 here. Folks too lazy to press like. Tuned in late. The grind never stops for Grant. Kapanen is a stud. What a night. Can't go to sleep. There you go. Yeah, because I'm Cappy. Gather round if you feel. Because I'm Cappy. Oh boy. I don't know, guys. Should I get a third beer? Not sure. Oh, disappoint. Oh, okay, discount. Not enough Bolsa products made to make me dyslexic for the newbie boy. There you go. We don't know the future. Maybe some players will get hurt. Maybe we'll need Line. Yeah, well. Yeah. Third beer, let's go. Get to 1 a.m. Oof. I don't know. Might have to be a couple more poker hands for me to be enticed to do that, boys. Goggles Paisan, you don't have to match him. Even a toonie. Start back on a toonie here. Habs need another vet, in my opinion, but there's a lot of assets right now. Yeah, maybe, eh? I'll be honest, Grant, I was skeptical of the Valeno signing, but I like his effort over the last 10, 12 games. Hey, he's helped the team. With the injuries they've had, Evans being out, what have you, he's come in, he's killed penalties. Um, you know, I haven't minded him. I'm late again, Grant. Oh boy. Well, you were earlier though. Earlier, last show you were early, drum dude. Sheldon didn't show up tonight. We had a little bit of a spat there earlier today. It's too bad. Oh, he'll be back. Assuming that Hage joins the Habs for the end of the season and playoffs and all players are healthy, who gets to sit in the press box? Yeah, I don't like to think about that. you know, the guys that have to sit. That's the negative part of it, right? Um, I don't know. There's tough decisions to be made. Galley, maybe the odd night's going to have to sit. Uh, you know, Blay um, and Beck might end up going back to Laval, even though we don't necessarily think that they deserve it. Like, there's pleasant problems that they're going to face, and that's a good thing. Line A is less than a half season to make a full contract year showing. Yeah. Who's dealing? My first beer was a Labatt 50 on the Sandy Hook Beach in Magdalen Island. Yeah, there you go. You know what? I had a drink of a beer at home. I think Dad gave me a drink of one. I was 8 or something, or 10, like pretty young. And just, you want to try this? Yeah. I don't remember what the brand was, but it wasn't a full beer. So, uh, Mom didn't allow me to have the full beer. Beck's? Okay. My son and I are coming to Montreal maybe next season to watch a couple of games. Oh, nice. Dennis DeJordy, consecutive backup goalie games. Oh, yeah? There's a good stat. I remember him playing for Detroit at one point. My first beer was a 10 penny. Okay. My dad drank 50. Yeah, the old drunk's beer, used to call it. Welcome to any Habs around the world. You're welcome to join us. Parkland in northern Saskatchewan. Hmm. Okay. I'll have to look that up. I can't say I know it. HabsCast should have its lodge at Bell Center. Uh, Germain is on the wagon. It's quality, not quantity tonight. Hey, we got, you know what? We've been over 105 since Tony's podcast ended. I assume it ended because all of a sudden we went from like 70 to 100. Got a few stragglers, I would think. Moosehead, Johnny Golden. Wasn't Golden Johnny Golden? Disappointed me. My first job, 3.25 an hour. Oof. Yeah. Jockey Club was my first beer. Lablat Blue? Lablat. I'm already drunk on two here. I don't know if I'm going to have a third, guys. Um, My first regular beer that I drank was blue, actually. My later teens and up till I was about 20, switched to Canadian. Actually, no, up till I was 20. For like 18, I switched to Canadian. There was no looking back. Quebec, eh? We let you into the beer. I had my mustache and a thick one at 16, and I was pretty stocky. Uh, like I looked 18 when I was 16, and I had no problem getting served at the bars and over on the Quebec side. So they used to send me in. I remember playing at the North Bay Golden Nugget. Was it the Golden Nugget or Golden Puck? One or the other. I forget now. The big tournament there. And Grant, you look the oldest. You got the big mustache. You go in. Stupid me, though, wearing my midget hockey jacket. So they obviously, basically a sign saying I'm 17. And where's your ID? Oh, right. So I can't get a bottle of Old Harbor? No. So we didn't get any beer. Somebody ended up going in. I think our coach. We had quite a team. Our coach got the job. He had played for the Pembroke Lumber Kings, star defenseman, and he got caught impaired driving. And his punishment was community service, having to coach the midget hockey team. So that's how we got our coach that year. And he'd never coached before. We ended up winning the league despite him. We had quite a crew that year. Friends for life from that team. Yeah. Curious to know who would be your lineup if everyone ends up being healthy come playoff time. Third beer will help us come up with the perfect lineup. Oh, guys, I don't know. 12:20. We've still got 110 on here, eh? Oh, what the hell. I'm grabbing a third beer, boys. Be right back. Once again, Jeff, if you're watching, I don't know why these are foaming, but I got her this time. Molson Canadian, that's my beer. I'll even sing the old theme song, Jeff, if you know start sending me a GER plus a month. Get back to me, buddy. I know you got the money. All right. So there, Felix. Third beer. Are you going to play poker with us or what? All talk, no action. All right. Deneau was awesome in the face-off tonight. Yes, he was. Absolutely. 87%. That's not bad. The Habs need some experience for the playoffs. Glad they got Deneau and others. Grant, curious to know what would be your lineup if everyone ends up being healthy come playoff time. Third beer will help us come up with the perfect lineup. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I don't know. You put me on the spot here. I'll have to, I don't like to just off the top of my head. Reinbacher. Reinbacher's in there. Hage on the first line. Doc Deneau. Newhook, third line. Bolduc. Evans Anderson, fourth line. Go win a championship. Transition game is becoming a real threat. Tic-tac-toe and a goal. Yeah. Do you think they tried line A on the first line? I was almost kind of hinting at it. Maybe. Mind you, Texe keeps having 3-point nights. Even it may not be moving him from anywhere, but I'm not expecting that. But nice for Alex to show up tonight. Earn his keep on that top line. I still remember the 4th of July, sitting on my daddy's knee. Yeah, near Brooks, Alberta, Lake Newell. Drinks a beer sitting on my daddy's knee. Hey, they knew. They knew we'd be beer drinkers. Don't worry about who's sitting when the injuries get back. This Olympic schedule is killing most teams, but we finally have the depth to sustain it. Yeah, true enough. I can help build the HabsCast set. Okay. And you're not saying that this is sure, whatever. There's room for improvement. The more I tune into your podcast, the more I realize how much we have in common. I have the same opinions. Time for me to join you on the cast. Oh, all right. Who picked 3? 3 beer. I'm happy with Grant. Have you guys noticed the last 4 opponents' coaches' pregame comments about our team? The league is on notice. Yeah. And broadcasters. I watch a lot of games with away broadcasters, and believe me, teams are on notice. Absolutely. The Habs have the 7th best record in the league. Pretty impressive for the youngest team. Go, Habs, go. Where's Mr. Paul? Mr. Paul went to the game tonight. He was sitting behind the yeah, I know what you meant. He was sitting right behind his famous seats right behind the goal. I called for Bergevin and company to be fired about 4 or 5 years ago before it happened. It's It's no coincidence the team is finally moving forward now that he's gone. Yeah. Oh, 411. Okay. Here's to the 4-1 win. That's a cool amount. Thank you, Paul. Nobody's ever, somebody probably donate 420 sometime. 411 for the 4-1 win. That's inventive. Who will take out Marchand tomorrow? Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? I followed your work for a long time. If you had a different GM while scouting for the Habs, you would still be there. Well, when Pierre Gauthier came in, he just skeleton staff, right? I mean, I was working for peanuts for what I was giving them, and Pierre Gauthier came in, and frig, they had about 3 scouts in all of Eastern Canada. It was a joke. It was, I mean, it took me a while to. I was not a fan of Jeff Molson when he bought the team again. Penny pinching, cutting corners, making all kinds of money and not spending it. Being the president of the friggin' team, the whole works. I was not happy, and I said so too, and it probably didn't help me get ahead as far as getting back on the staff, getting media access, all that stuff. But it's neither here nor there. I have praised Jeff Molson. I guess he's grown as an owner since he first took over. He's spending more money. He relinquished finally the president's job, let other people that he trusts make the decisions that need to be made on the hockey end of things. And good for him. That looks like it's paying off. He's got a fine hockey team, and it's going to help. He's going to benefit from it, and so are we. We're with getting to watch exciting, talented team for the first time in 40 years. It's been too long. Funny you mention broadcasters. You say the away broadcasters, so you were right. Because Canadian broadcasters are leased TV. Yeah, pretty much. Well, you get one of those special boxes, right? And you watch the games get blacked out. A lot of games get blacked out, so I watch the other broadcasters. Mickey Redmond's still my favorite. Detroit. I think he's great. I never mind watching the Detroit broadcasts of the Habs games because Mickey's one of the best. And a former Hab, too. Traded for Frank Mahovlich back in the day. Think of any good stories, care to share? Huge fan of the stories you tell. Well, you got to you have to steer me in the right direction there. Stories about what? I know W means win, Felix. I may be old, but I'm still with it, even 2.5 years in. And you're 27. Wow. Yeah. You probably are the youngest on here. I think our age combined, probably 10,000 plus. So I was hyped about you opening the third beer and staying with us. Okay. Leafs suck. Mm-hmm. They do. Past your bedtime, young Felix. Oh, he might be in North Saskatchewan. See your passion for our team. Grant, it goes to show a previous management couldn't see talent, you included. Well, as you know, as you can tell, I work hard. That's and that's the key to good scouting, to anything in life. Work hard, you get rewarded eventually. Um, I'm assuming that someone will get Marchand for the elbow. He threw at Matheson. That's true. Yeah. Uh, Arbor played a good game today. Yes, he did, Paul. That he did. Um, hey, there we go. See, I cracked the third beer, and then all of a sudden everybody got stingy. And who comes up with the fiver again? The guy that shouldn't be the one that's coming up with the fiver, friggin' Germain again. Jumping, you guys, I don't know. uh, I like the kid. Molson finally moved away from dictatorship to a team when he chose Gorton. I would love to see the interview that Gorton had when applying for the job. Yeah, I know. Well, if he'd have had a if he'd have had a buffer, and he didn't, between the GM and him when they selected Logan Mailloux, pretty sure it wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have selected Logan Mailloux, and that whole kerfuffle wouldn't have happened. And you know, as it turned out for the best because they got rid of the um, media, the guys running the media, who, in my opinion, were not doing a very good job. Um, Chantal got brought in. That was a good move. You know, diversified, brought in more women into the fold. That was a good move. Um, Brought in Gorton to be the buffer between the GM and Molson. That was a good move. Spent more money on scouting, having the largest freaking capacity stadium that's always sold out. Long overdue, but a good move. Like, I couldn't believe it. Those guys were selling, he's selling out the stadium and he's got no Ontario Hockey League scout for a couple of years there. And it was just, well, I'm here, guys. I do it for like peanuts. No, no, no. Couldn't spend a few $1,000s. So some things had to change, and they have. And to Jeff's credit, he he adjusted, and it's paying off for him now. I mean, if he'd have done it 10 years earlier, we probably wouldn't have had to wait 10 years. But hey, better late than never, right? At least I'm alive to see it, to see another good Habs team finally after decades of mismanagement. I'm from Trois Rivières, and I'm staying up as long as the stream keeps going. Yeah, well, things tend to get a little more. At the end of these streams, by my third beer, the good stuff sometimes comes out. So poker, let's see, match this. What did Fort George? Here's for the third beer. Thanks, Fort George. Another $5. I appreciate it. Coming out of the woodwork here a little bit. Couple of fellas managed to sneak their credit card away from the woman. Yeah, steer me in the right direction there, Mark. With the bedtime stories. Trois Rivières. Felix, did you go to the World Junior Challenge? We're buzzing right now. And as much as we'd love to have one of our 3 forwards back, think of what a difference goalie is going to make, and also have Carrier's minutes reduced. Yeah, that's true. Get Carey on that third pairing with Jack Eye. Get Jack Eye back over on his good side. If Arbor has, bring in Struble on occasion when Arbor has a down game, and maybe against a faster opponent. Although Arbor, his skating has looked better recently. Funny, we've had like 122 people on here the last hour. I cracked a beer with you, Grant. At what? What time is it there? It's like 2 a.m. now, Chris. I think Jack isn't scared to make mistakes anymore. Maybe. Fowler, 12th in the league in terms of goals saved above expected. Yeah, and imagine if he wasn't screened. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Oh, this is getting hard on the gluteus maximus, folks. 2:12 into it. I can't go too much longer here. Have to go, gents. Great fun with Grant and all of you. See you at the next HabsCast. Good night. Probably tomorrow night, right? Hope to see you, Germain. Uh-oh, my benefactor's leaving. You know what that means, eh, folks? We're going to wrap her up pretty soon. Game 1 of the playoffs was this Saturday. Who's starting? Oof. Fowler. There's been a new change and a new culture in the Habs org. Yep. Molson wanted control, then he realized you need a group of people, and kudos on him. You relinquished power, and he hired. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to win a cup. I think he's going to get rewarded. I went to see Sweden versus Canada East. The Swedes were dominating. Yeah. Well, they were stacked. Biggest problem, simple. He was afraid of losing his job. I believe Marty told him that. Need all of you, just play your game. Yeah. Save percentage in third period is .959. Well, that's why Fowler is a winner. That's why he's a .750 win percentage for his career, right? Friggin' guy is a winner. Good night, boys. Great show, Grant. Oh, jeez. You talk me into the third beer, then you all leave. What a bunch. Stop asking questions. Stop leaving comments. Thanks for another great show and chat. Time to head to bed. 6 a.m. will come quickly. Oh, well, okay. That's legitimate, Mark. Get to bed, young man. Well, still got half a beer, guys. Caught up. Caught up on the messages. Google's Paisan. Goggles, sorry. All right, good night, Wolfie. I know you're drinking with me, but gotta say something here. We're talking about stories earlier without mentioning names. What is the wrongest take from a scout you've heard about a specific player? Oh, I don't know. There's a lot. Hey, I mean, I could, you know, I could include myself in that, right? Every scout makes mistakes. We're scouting 17-year-old kids, right? Nothing jumps to mind. There's tons of them. If I come up with it before I pack her in here, I'll. Who's your pick for most improved player with the Habs? Um, Somebody said the other day Oliver Kapanen. I mean, did Oliver never scored a goal last year, right? This year he's on pace for 25. So um, I think I'd have to go with that guy. Would you prefer Hage starting in the NHL as a winger next year? I'd prefer him starting in the NHL as a winger this year on the first line with, or might be the second line, whatever. One of the top two lines with Suzuki and Caulfield. For the last 15 years, we struggled in N, who we call up. Now we don't know who to sit. Yep. I missed the earlier conversation, but Texier had himself a game tonight. Oh yeah, I never noticed it. Did he get any points tonight, drum dude? Yeah, you come late to the freaking game and you become Captain Obvious. Yeah, he did. I didn't think he was actually all that exceptional, but he happened to get 3 points, and I've got no issues with that. You know, none. You know what? Yes, Florida, but they're going to have to be careful not to get too crazy about going after Marchand. That plays right into, the Rats. He's been doing it, getting in people's heads for 15 friggin' years now, especially Habs. And oh, goggles. You cracked one? Okay, good man. I need a drink of water. I'm starting to slur. 3 beers, jeez. Can't handle her like I used to, folks. There we go. course, it is 1 a.m. The friggin' what you folks put me through, let me tell you. The game, I yeah, I just hope Arbor, plays the kind of game he played tonight. Hard, smart, skill. I like the skill tonight. He got shots in, got shots through on net, made some nice puck plays, smart outlet passes. Skating was good. Played within himself, but yet was physical when he needed to be. Tonight was a really impressive game for Marver Jacki, without a doubt. Not tonight, Felix. At this point, I'm not going to get into that, if you don't mind. Sloth has gotten away from his second half slot. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, of the regulars, yeah. But it's hard to argue with 0 goals, to 1 every 3 games like Cappy's doing. So, like, it wasn't like Slav was terrible last year, but yeah, you could definitely make the argument for Slav being the most improved player. Yeah, he's in that conversation. New hook before he got injured, I thought, too. Oh, Chester just jumped down. He's had enough. Is it true that Cole's nickname is Lecoq? Now, why would I know that? How would I know? Did you not did you not see my story about him? Were you not on when I was telling you about I interviewed him and then revealed that he had COVID, and that was he never talked to me again. So I'm the wrong person to ask if Cole's nickname is Lecoq. But thanks for asking for it, George. Drum dude, you're late, eh? Yeah, another legend gone. Yeah, Felix, I'm just I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. You're kind of catching me late at night, 3 beers in. Another night, ask me again, and I'll come up with a couple of. I mean, it happens all the time. So I mean, I could go on for 3 hours. You know what I mean? I actually think we were in the heads of Florida. Well, beating them a few times now. Susie's zoning them in the last 4 games too. Well, I can tell you right now, if you ask Paul Maurice who you wouldn't want to face in the first round, the Habs would be on his short list. And that's a good point, Chris. Looking forward to contest tomorrow night. Or are they not playing tonight? Are you out west or what? Because where I'm from, it's tonight. And speaking of tonight, folks, I think 2 more drinks and I'm out of here. Shea Weber came up. Yeah. All right. So the Rooster. Yarrow West, eh? All right. The Cats and Rats podcast. you come to Montreal, I live in the South Shore in St. Bruno. It'd be nice to meet you. Okay, goggles. Well, I've got $14 now. That gets me like halfway. That gets me to Hudson almost. Can you meet me in Hudson? Run out of gas right there. Bring a 5-gallon can. Get me the rest of the way. I'm out west. Folks, it is a great group on here. Habs fans are the best, aren't they? And especially the group we've assembled here. And I'm going to tally this all up, but frig. Crazy amount of contributions tonight, like probably $150 or more, which is nuts. Nuts in a good way. I appreciate it. 20, 25. I'm going to count it right now. 50, 75, 85, 99, 124, 134, 139, 159. Holy frig, guys. 169, 173, 177, 182, 187, 187. $13 short of $200. Okay, well, that's incredible, folks. I really appreciate it. Certainly paid for my 3 beers. Let's see. Wrong on prospects. Oh, Trevor and I used to talk about prospects all the time. And I tried to not bring it up too often when he'd say something about a player, and then 3 or 4 years later, it didn't work out because, hey, you bite your tongue, right? Because Trevor gave me my break, got me a scouting job, got my foot in the door, and mentored me. And, as I learned, as I scouted, every scout makes mistakes. You just can't. You don't know, right? I mean, I remember Trevor telling me about one of their Swedish scouts saying that Lucas Vedamo reminded him of Zetterberg, right? Like, that's one that jumps to mind. You look back at it a few years later, and not quite in Zetterberg's league. And hey, regional scouts will push for their guys and sometimes use a little hyperbole to maybe get their point across, get interest. And certainly saying that Vedamo remind them of and I remember I put it like, this isn't, I'm not saying something that wasn't made public, because I posted it on the message board at the time. And I remember, people say, whoa, slow down. And I mean, it's true. And as it turned out, it was, you know, little too wishful of thinking on his part. I think Trevor was a great scout, but wasn't allowed to make his picks because of the. Yeah. Oh no. There were instances where, geez, you come late and then you leave early, drum dude. Man, oh man. Okay, it's 2 a.m. You're excused. Thanks for even showing up, my friend. Do you keep Hudson on the right to pair with Goalie next week? Had a good conversation with Eric Macramelli. Might want to watch that a couple days ago. Yesterday, I guess. Or 2 days ago now, anyway, day and a half ago. We had a good chat, and he brought up the point that Lane's been really good back on the left, and maybe Gula goes to the right. And I don't necessarily disagree with him. Caden's pretty good on the right as well. One or the other. There were picks that I know of that sometimes, that he didn't necessarily, but Bergie wasn't too bad that way. Like, he'd step in on an occasion, and Bergie wasn't there for the LeBlanc pick. I know that one. There was definitely internal pressure to pick the French Canadian player with it being in Montreal that year. I was a domino. You keep doing this fast in your draft rankings, and you'll be back in the show. I don't want to be back in the show, honestly. I like what I'm doing now, and the support I've been getting has been amazing. And I don't want to start doing the travel. I have no interest in driving into big cities all the time, all the travel through snowstorms, and I'm not a young man anymore. No interest in it, to be honest with you. I like what I'm doing. And there you go. All right. LeBlanc wasn't a pick. Well, Trevor liked every Hab fan's favorite, Chris Kreider, who time has shown would have been the better pick, right? I mean, not even close. So. Oh no, I'm just hey. Trevor was good not to, talk about it too much. I'm sure, yeah, he micromanaged, and hey, believe me, he wouldn't hire me. Trevor tried to get me back on the staff, and he wouldn't hire me on. So believe me, I've got my opinions, but I don't want to go. I don't want to go into it. Bergie did some good moves, but they got outweighed. Yeah, for sure. Timmons was a NCAA. Well, he relied on it wasn't so much him. He relied on his scouts. You always do. You rely on your regional guys. And if they really like a guy, and you don't have any, there were a lot of really poor drafts back then. you know, and there weren't a lot of good, where the Canadians were usually picking late in the first round and stuff. You know, the depth wasn't great. NCAA guys would push for certain players, and Trevor would, go along with it. Anyway, I feel like I get a sneak peek at an interesting Habs talk listening to you. It's like the media is 3 to 4 weeks late to the point you convey. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. I do. Nothing political about picking a Quebec. Well, hey, and I'll defend the Habs in this regard that LeBlanc was picked right around where all of us had him. You know, I was part of the staff at that point, but I never scouted Louis LeBlanc, so I didn't have an opinion one way or the other on Louis LeBlanc. Um, but I mean, Bob McKenzie, I remember distinctly Bob saying that when LeBlanc got picked, that he could be the steal of the draft. So, you know, I mean, there's no one I respect more in the media when it comes to someone that gathers information on prospects than Bobby McKenzie. So I'm trying to think back who I liked. Um, that was not a great draft year, to their credit too. There were a lot of guys that busted in the top 50. It was not a particularly strong draft class. Looking back at this, I didn't really like, man, going down here. There weren't a lot of players that I like Tatar. He ended up going like 60. He was so good at the World Juniors that year. I know the knock was his skating. I didn't think it was that bad. The kid was just good. Um, didn't mind Dupre. He didn't work out. Yeah. Looking at this list, it was just a bad year in general. Really was. And as things turned out, Canadians got way more heat than they should have over that pick. Michael Latta, didn't mind him in Guelph. Mind you, I didn't, I was just regional and I got to see kids in the OHL. Eric Jelena, didn't mind Jelena either. Good skater. I had him ranked in the first round, but never really made it. Simon Dupre, another one. There were a couple of, both those guys were good skaters, and I thought, might get NHL careers, but they didn't have the smarts. Shemaine, I thought you were gone. You're he keeps having to. So we're $10 short of 200 here, folks. I'm signing off soon. Do we want to hit 200 or what? Jermaine, go to bed, my friend. I thought you left already. I was pissed the year they didn't pick Angelo Esposito. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could talk for a while about you made me feel guilty. I'm staying up. Why would you feel guilty? I was so pissed the year they didn't pick Angelo. Well, that was a funny year because it was my first year scouting with McKean's, and I remember like talking. I knew some NHL scouts at that point, and lucky enough to be from a small town where there were a couple, and talking to Espo still into like January and almost February. There were still guys that thought, first overall, but it, I didn't get to see guys as much as I do now, but when I did, videos and such that I got CDs, um, I'd get them sent from teams and everything, and looking and went to a couple of games, and he wasn't up to snuff. He really wasn't. And you're watching this Patrick Kane kid, what he did at the World Juniors, and and we're talking about it. Me and Ian, who ran McKean's at the time, and I was hired me on to run the scouting rankings, and I started up a draft guide, and it's like this guy, he's not. There's no way he's first overall. There's Patrick Kane, and then in January we put Kane first overall, and we kept him there. Started dropping Esposito, and I remember getting on FH boards, which was and saying, Esposito is not the first. He's not going to be the first overall pick, or he shouldn't be. And oh my God, people just, you're crazy. Look what he did last year. Da 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 da. Boo 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 boo. And we stuck to our guns. And as it turned out, the NHL guy started, oh yeah, you're right. He's not playing very well. Kept looking at him, and you'd see him even on independent lists, start slipping down. But it was still thought that he'd go top 5, because he had been the consensus for a year and a half. And, kind of like Shane Wright, it was a similar thing, but Wright didn't end up dropping like he did. When it ended up being 20th. It was like, ooh. But, as things turned out, he shouldn't even been a first round pick. Yeah, that was an interesting draft. And the Habs, hey, one of the best drafts they ever had that year was just McDonough at 12, Pacioretty 22, and Subban in the second round, 43. Just a killer draft by Trevor. Absolutely put him on the map right then and there. Jermaine, man. Okay, guys, I'm $5 away or $7 away from 200. Jermaine, no, you don't contribute anymore. But anybody else there want to top it up to 200? Call it a night. Bing, bam, boom. Cappy happy. Gotta love it. Going to be a great one. One of the many young Habs. Haven't been this exciting since the 70s for me, an old fan. Thanks, Paul Cake. Do I think the Habs' drafting success mostly luck? Well, I don't. I think a lot of it had to do with getting Marty Lapointe on the staff, and Trevor getting more picks in the top 60, top 90. The more picks you got, top 90, the better you look. It's just simple. There were years there where they didn't have hardly any, and you know, it, the more picks that you've got, top 90, the better you look. And Bergevin started to accumulate more picks, top 90, and it helped. But also appointing Marty onto the amateur scouting staff, Serge Boisvert and Donald Audette, who had, were still kind of greenhorns, but they developed as scouts too, became better. They hired a couple of more good scouts, and it just all evolved. And they all, even like Nick Bobrov, tell me he's not a better scout today than he was in 2018 or 2019 when he drafted Kako and Kravstov and all that, and the kid, the Swedish kid, 7th overall, that Montreal ended up playing in the minors there. So, oh, there you go, 699. So, I think we're up to 199.99. You know what? That's close enough. That's close enough to 200 for me, folks. Thank you very much, Goggles. 200 mark. I think it's only the second time. Panthers know how to play dirty. Let's be smart when we play them. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I don't know if you left, came back, or but yeah. Yes. I don't want Arbor. Loved Arbor's game tonight. I don't want silly Arbor. I want smart Arbor tomorrow night. Do I think the queue is going to be dissolved or encapsulated by the OHL? The queue is dying fast. No, I don't think so. The Maritimes keeping alive. Radulov had a lot to do with. Yeah, okay, guys. I'll be right back. Whew. I'm happier now. Nature was calling in a big way. Will you stop it? Okay, yeah, we're $9.99 over now. Ah, my goodness. I'm 73, but I'm with you as long as you go. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Grant, I give Adam Nicholas a lot of credit. Yeah, that was another thing too, right? hiring a skills coach. Like that was something Bergie didn't really, and the advanced stats didn't really. He was old school, right? I don't know that they needed to. They needed to evolve. Jeff needed to loosen the purse strings a bit, and Gorton has his ear and he listens to him, and good, because Jeff Gorton's doing an outstanding job. Absolutely. Met him at an Ottawa 67's game. He's a cool, calm customer. What you see is what you get. When you see him on his interviews and stuff, he's pretty cash, smart, cerebral. I'm impressed by Jeff Gorton. I like the man. I've seen this many times with Detroit drafting diamonds in the rough overseas. Aura is showing the same tendencies. Yeah, I don't give all the credit to Bobrov for the European picks either. He definitely gets some of the credit, but the staff's good there, and Marty has his input too. Marty's an outstanding. I think he's one of the best amateur scouts in the game. I really do. Our management is finally a strength of the organization. You don't buy a beer, you rent it. Absolutely, folks. Jermaine and I combined for 100 years thanks to my contribution. Yeah, there you go. It's only 1:20 a.m. on the East Coast. Well, it's the same here. Celebrini, 3 more points. Jay Teal, you're still around, eh? Yeah, what a player, right? It's funny. A couple of years ago, I say, the Celebrini kid might be as good as Bedard, and it's like, are you crazy? Crazy like a fox. I wish Konyushkov to come camp. Hope he's good enough for that. He must want to come here. If he doesn't want to, well, that's up to him. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's a spot for him necessarily, but he's NHL caliber. I have Pickford and Reinbacher ahead of him, but the more the merrier. Did I see Olivier K.O. Reeves? Well, yes. Kapanen on fire. This guy? See how happy he looks? I'm the same. I've got that same happy look. What's Kapanen? We're Cappy. Because I'm Cappy. Good old Irish kid, Noah Dobson, with a great game. Superman. I am Superman. And I know what's happening. All right. Now I'm singing. That's not good. Grant, you're younger than me. I know what you mean by travel, but I still love it. Well, I don't like driving in cities. Big cities. No. I don't think it was silly during Celebrini's draft year that he got Crosby comps. No. And I did compare him to Crosby. I said, He's maybe the closest prospect I've seen, since I've been scouting, to a Crosby type all-around player. Wasn't a fan of the Veleno signing, but the guy's been working like a dog. Seems to accepted his bottom six role. Yeah. Pierre Maguire thinks Conway could be as good as Dovish. Well, I'm sorry, but this guy was way better than Dovish. I don't think there's any comparison. Conway here, Dovish there. And by the way, Yvan Conway bought his flooring at logsend.com. Buddies of mine used to own the Nepean Raiders, hockey team out of Ottawa here, Junior A. Great hockey folks. And go to the website, check it out. I think you'll be floored by it. And get in touch with them. Tell them I sent you. Little segue there. Yeah, Conway is good. I mean, that's hyperbole. Pierre gets a little excited about the NCAA guys. That's always, I saw this guy at college and da-da-da-da-da. I know, I talked to his grandfather, and Pierre's one of a kind. But, yeah. Yeah. He looks good. I did a video that's on the YouTube site here, Cornwall. Check it out. I did a scouting video, and I'll do more on him. And right now, I like Cornwall better than Miller and Radkov and Volokin. He out of the guys that aren't playing in pro hockey, he's probably at the top of my list right now among Habs goalies. So I don't disagree with Pierre. Could there be a trade chip with goalies? Could be. Guys, at 3, I'm wrapping it up in 3 hours, okay? So I'm going 2 more minutes. Number 12 would score on Dovish. Yes, he would. Yvan would score on Dovish. I'll always remember, he thought he was washed up. He was missed, I don't know, half the season with a back injury. A shell of his former self. Comes back late in the year. 5-goal game. Do you remember Conway's 5-goal game, folks? I know most year, Felix doesn't remember, but Felix' father remember, or grandfather anyway. Considering the Habs' second-round pick will probably be around 50 to 55, could they consider trading the pick? Oh yeah, they could consider that. Always hated the Leafs and Bruins. Did you ever meet John Ferguson? Never met Fergie. Toughest guy of the 60s is what they say. Liam says, and Liam would know. He could throw him. I've looked at fight tapes of Johnny Ferguson, and he had the big mitts, eh? Tough man. Good man. I don't know if you watched I put the tape up of the video of the 75 Canada Habs, the New Year's Eve game against the Red Army, and Fergie did the color in that one. Could there be a goalie prospect in Laval next year? No, don't think so. I'm a fan of Beck, but do you Don't you think he looks out of sorts on the wing? Yeah, well, I thought he played well tonight, but his best spot is at center, I think. Who's the last Hab to score 4 goals? Yeah, there haven't been many, have there? Favorite dish? Can't go wrong with a pulled pork poutine every now and then. Ooh, Eric, that's my favorite dish is keep the pig poker game going. Oh, I like pulled pork poutine, no doubt. Um, I have a soft spot for chicken parmigiana. That's my favorite dish. Birthday, which is coming up very soon. Um, that's what I always get. Chicken parmesan. I'd love to be part of your podcast. Okay, yeah, I go to the bitter end. Please, your audience, if you could drop me your email, I'd love to have an interview. All right, Chris. Yeah, I leave my email on here quite often. Jermaine, every dollar, even the smallest donation helps. Plus, hit those like buttons. Well, thank you, Jermaine. You obviously leader of the band again tonight. I got to get going. 3 hours in. My legs are pretty sore. This isn't the most comfortable position after 3 hours. My back's not going to be happy with me tomorrow, so I do have to depart. Um, is there a strong team outside of Grand Rapids in the AHL? Friggin' 27-year-old, eh? Coming up with all the questions. Good stamina there, young fella. Yeah, Laval Rocket. Damn good team. Wait till they get back guys from Montreal with the injuries. And you'll see. Laval Rocket, baby. Chicken parmesan. No, parmigiana. Not parmesan, parmigiana. With the cheese and the spaghetti and the spaghetti sauce. I like spaghetti sauce with meatballs in it, but you don't always get that. Chicken parmigiana is my favorite. Okay, speaking of that, maybe I need a midnight snack at 1:30 in the morning. It's now 1:30, 3 hours in. Hit the $200 mark thanks to you folks. We never quite hit 1,000. We're still got 100 viewing this long in. That's crazy. It's I'll spell it here. Parmigiana. And Chris, you can contact me there, okay? Not promising you anything though. Okay. Beer's done. Legs are done. Back's done. I'm done. Thank you for tuning in. See you tonight after the I'm doing a show with Liam at 11. So we'll do a live. Frick, I'm busy again tomorrow, eh? We'll do a live at noon or something, or 11. Yeah, Liam's doing a show about 11 tomorrow. He's great to talk about these legends. He'll talk about Bobby Pulford, Glenn Hall, talk about last night's game, set up things up for tomorrow night's game. Tune into that if you can. Noon 11 o'clock. We'll take your questions as always, and then tomorrow night I'll do a post game again after the Panthers game. Thank you as always, everyone. I appreciate it. What's this? GGGN. Okay. Good night to you. Because I'm Cappy. Gather round tomorrow. Because I'm Cappy. Grant, I saw a few Habs Bruins games at the Old Garden. Every time the Habs were there, they won. Yeah. I know, eh? It's funny. I talked to Larry Robinson this summer, and he couldn't recall ever losing a playoff series to that. We never lost. And I said, well, and I researched it pretty well. I said, well, no, actually, Larry, there was the one time. So one time that he played for the Habs, they beat them in the playoffs. And they met probably 10 times or something like that. So forgive Big Bird for losing that one time to the Bruins. Okay, well, on that note, you're 73 and you stayed up with me, Germain. Hey, if I'd have donated, I don't know, $100, I'd have stayed up for the whole time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you so much for helping me hit the $200 mark in donations again. It's just the start to this year has been fantastic. I think going to be at about $600-700 just for the first week of January alone, which is amazing. I can't thank you enough, and let's keep this rolling. We're having fun. I'll try to think more stories as you jog my memory and stuff, and we'll keep building this into just a fun Habs community. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you hopefully in the morning. Okay, bye for now.